Thank you. Mr. Secretary General of Union for Mediterranean, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let me express my sincere appreciation for the honor to participate in the launching conference for the Union for the Mediterranean project, Young Women as Job Creator. I would like to thank Mr. Fathallah Sijilmesi, Secretary General of UfM, for the opportunity as Chairwoman of the Parliamentary Assembly UfM Committee on Women's Rights to participate in the launching conference. I am grateful to the effort made by Mrs. Elena Maria de Philippe Lettonen, who is working with enthusiasm on the development and the implementation of this project. As you know, jobs are in the heart of citizens' needs and aspirations, and the main driver to restore economic opportunity and to secure the well-being of the Euro-Mediterranean region's populations. Unlocking the potential for job creation is among the most pressing challenges that economies and societies of the Euromed region are facing. Every country suffers from high unemployment, which mostly affects women. Among the active, women are less likely than men to be employed in the private sector. On the contrary, no gender differences or a slight preference for women are found in public sector employment. Furthermore, rises in energy and commodities prices and growing budget constraints suggest that the public sector is no longer a reliable source for employment, and the public subsidies model contains substantial deficiencies. I am pleased that the program of women entrepreneurship promotion works in 4 countries, Morocco, Jordan, Palestine, and Spain, and I really hope that the project's activity directly benefits young women in the involved countries. I really hope that Tunisia will also be engaged in this project, as Tunisian women suffer from rising levels of unemployment, especially after the revolution. Contrary to some widespread ideas, the participation rate of women in Tunisia is currently very low compared to the rest of the world. It's true that it's the entire North African region which is lagging behind in this area, 27.6% for the women participation rate in the area in 2009 against 52.7% for the average world. This gap persists despite the economic and social development witnessed in the Arab world in recent decades. What's remarkable is that despite a low women participation rate, the women unemployment rate in the North Africa area is still one of the highest in the world, 15.3% against 6.5% for the global average. The international labor goes further by stating that the high number of unemployed people, especially young people and women, is only the tip of the iceberg. Among the existing jobs, many are low quality, low paid, insecure, and do not respect fundamental labor standards or the right of representations of works. The political and economic situation through which Tunisia is going through has obviously a direct impact on employment in general and women employment in particular, implication that will be felt for years to come. This criticality of the situation can be measured through the sharp increase of employment demand and sudden rise in unemployment rates, consequences of the brutal drop of economic activity and investment slowdown. But we fear that the situation will worsen even further if cultural and societal norms regress. This will make access to the Tunisian labor market more difficult than it was before. Indeed, data from the National Agency for Employment and Independent Work by gender shows that the total job market continues to favor men, although structural considerations such as mobility, availability, attendance, job, or business sector can be taken into consideration. In fact, the increase in women unemployment is steady and rapid, over time as the rate of women unemployment rose from 15.2% in 2005 to 27.4% in 2012. Meanwhile, the male unemployment rate rose from 12.1% in 2005 to 15% in 2012. Our country has promoted youth access to higher education. We went from schooling rate in tertiary sector of 11% in 1990 to 35% in 2010. The employment rate among women in higher education reached 43.8% in 2011 against 23.7% for men graduated in higher education. A degree, that's good, but a job is better. 2/3 of graduated are unemployed in Tunisia. No major adjustment of economic policy has been made. The Tunisian government has continued to support economic activities with low frame rate. The orientation towards high value has remained a slogan of speech and plans. More than 1 million jobs must be created by 2020 in Tunisia. Review of sector strategies, transformation of the training system, investment in infrastructure and international agreements are the main lines of the recovery of the country for this decade. Trainings should comprise a head-life expertise notion or soft skills which will permit to young people to develop necessary reflex to resolve complicated problems and to get used to new situations. These expertise require apprenticeship of entrepreneurship, initiative making, and efficient communication mechanism. Via the project, Young Women as Job Creator, I am sure that talented young women finishing their tertiary education would be assisted in becoming successful businesswomen. To conclude, I want to say that the future of Tunisian women and the Arab women in general in the labor market can only be reasonably pessimistic. The temptation is indeed great to see policymakers now use the economic and social situation to build theological or regulatory barriers to throw the entry of women into the labor market. The fact that the country's elite is feminized, in particular that the pioneer schools are attended by a high percentage of girls and women are more successful at school and university than men could be a real barrier to retrograde temptations. In short, women employment is at the heart of the political and cultural battle ahead in Arab country who knows the revolution. On one hand, there are those who believe in merit, self-fulfillment through work and education, individual freedom, and gender equality. On the other hand, there are those who argue in secret to create fear and who try to impose their own religious convictions to reconsider the achievements of Arab women on their right to work and to dignity. Thank you for your attention.